I'm Jeannie Bibisa, all discussing Chapter 6, Object Modeling. Chapter Summary. This chapter introduces object modeling, which is a popular technique that describes a system in terms of objects. Objects represent real people, places, events, transactions, unlike structured analysis, which treat data and process separately. Objects include data and process that can affect the data. During the implementation process system, analysts and programmers transform objects into program code modules that can be optimized, tested, and reused as often as necessary. Object-oriented terms include classes, attributes, instances, messages, and method. Classes include objects that have similar attributes or characteristics. Individual members of a class are called object instances. Objects within a class can be grouped into subclasses, which are more specific categories within the class. A class also can belong a more general category called a superclass. Object can send message or command that required other object to perform certain method or task. The concept that a message gives different meaning to different objects is called polymorphism. An object resembles a black box with encapsulated or self-contained data and method. The strongest relationship between objects is inheritance. After you define the object, classes, and relationship, you are prepared an object relationship diagram that show the object and how they interact to perform business functions and transactions. The Unified Modeling Language or UML is widely used method of visualizing and documenting an information system. UML technique include use cases diagram, class diagram, sequence diagram, state transition diagram, and activity diagram. I use describe a business situation initiated by an actor who interact with the information system. Each use case represents a specific transaction or scenario. A use case diagram is a visual summary of related use cases within a system or subsystem. A class diagram represents a detailed view of a single case showing the class that participate into underlying business transaction and the relationship among class instances, which is called cardinality. A sequence diagram is a dynamic model of a use case, showing the interaction among classes during a specific time period. Sequence diagrams include lifeline, messages, and focuses. A state transition diagram shows how an object changes from one state to another, depending on events that affect object. An activity diagram resembles a horizontal flowchart that shows action and event as they occur in a time. Case tools provide an overall framework for system documentation. Case tool can speed up the development process, ensure consistency, and provide common links that enable objects to be reused. At the end of the object modeling process, you are organize your use case and use case diagram and create class, sequence, state, transition, and activity diagram.